done a lot or consistently this season, getting a big win, getting a win over the Detroit Pistons, 126-108. That saw the big three look like a formidable big three. We're going to get into all that and more on today's Chicago Bulls Central.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
All right, Bulls fans, we in the building. The Bulls take care of business, getting their second win in a row against the Detroit Pistons. And this was a game in which it was, again, a balanced attack. The Bulls executing the way that they needed to execute. Vooch with 16, 15, 6, and 1 in this game, filling up the stat sheet, going 8 for 19. DeMar DeRozan going 9 of 18 in this game, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, and 26 points from DeMar DeRozan. And then Zach LaVine also 10 for 28 from the field, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 30 points from Zach LaVine, who is getting to the line again. He was 8 of 9 from the free throw line. Him and DeMar both getting to the free throw line in this game pretty regularly. Patrick Williams also chips in 10, and Ayo Dosunmu chips in 13 as well. And then we get 12 points from Derrick Jones Jr. off the bench and 10 from Kobe White. This was a very solid game from this team who took care of an inferior opponent. And while, this is something that we should be able to say about the Bulls team, is that they come in and take care of inferior opponents. We haven't been able to say that for the most part this season because the Bulls just have not taken care of business in a consistent way against teams that are sub 500. They take care of business today. They get the dub, a much needed dub, as we are trying to claw our way back into being into playoff contention. Right now, still the play-in. By the end of the day, we could be up to the 9 seed. Again, that doesn't matter right now short term. We need the Bulls to keep stringing wins together as they can continue to try to climb up the standings closer to getting hopefully out the play-in if they can. They now have 37 games left on the season. They're going to have to win at least 22 out of the last 37 games if they want to hope to avoid the play-in, probably even more than that with how close the Eastern Conference is. So we'll see. But overall, really happy with how our team took care of business today. Glad that they did so during the just weird middle of the day game. Just now getting my post game started because I had to work. This is what it is. I had to work. But the Bulls play a total game in this one, losing the rebounding battle. That's something I would like to see them tighten up. They did have 14 turnovers in this game, 8 blocks as a team, which is wild from the Chicago Bulls team that doesn't usually get a lot of blocks. They had 11 steals as well in this game. Again, almost every player that checked into the game had a positive plus minus that checked in during meaningful time. We even got a Marko Simonovic sighting. People, we got to see Carlik Jones, Marko Simonovic, and Dalen Terry and Malcolm Hill check into this game. The G League was here and they got this check in for 1 minute in this game, which is wild. But let's go ahead and get into your comments. Let's see how you guys feel about everything. Smear60 says, my guy, what's going on, Smear? Yes, sir. We lit from Drip Lord. What's going on, brother? Let's go. A win in Paris, and Debo is focused on getting the open teammate. Listen, he said it. Debo, and it seemed like something that is easily you could just take as just words, right? Debo saying, hey, when I was sitting out, seeing this team go through scoring droughts, I think I know how to help it and how I want to attack it when we get back. Debo played a really good game in this game, for sure, for the Chicago Bulls. We needed every bit of that. The Bulls winning every quarter in this game. Haven't been able to say that about a lot of games today. Jay in the building says, yo, what's going on, Jay? Bulls played a perfect game. Paris definitely motivated them. Well, I think the team being together, being able to play together, being able to travel together, having that bonding experience, this team played like the better team, and we'll see if they can continue it. DJJ really got the marriage bounce today. Hey, man, listen, the dude's happy. Great game from Zach LaVine. Completely agree with you, Rap Godfather. Happy that we won the game, but think about it for a second. Everybody, are we really excited about beating the Detroit Pistons even if we lose to bad teams? Yes, because of how they got the win. The fact that they won every single quarter. Yes, we got to stop trying to find ways to. It's okay to be excited. Be excited, though, and still understand where we are as a team. Yes, it's fine to be excited about a win, and this team needs wins. What do we need? Wins. Period. If we want to get out the play-in, we need to beat these teams, and the Bulls did it in a way that they just haven't won a lot of games this way. So yeah, it's enough to be excited about. But keep it in perspective. Great Bulls win. Saw positive signs from our young guys. Specifically, Io was reading the defense and calling it out like Lonzo would. They still scored on us a lot, but Io impressed me. That's a great observation there on Io, Jamal. If Zach, Vooch, and DeMar keep it up, they could all be all-stars. Nah, it's too little too late for, I would say, Zach LaVine and Vooch in this game, even though Vooch has been very consistent this season. I doubt they're going to get to be all-stars, and that's fine. The Bulls, with their record, they don't deserve multiple all-stars. If DeMar gets in, cool. It is what it is. I was scared of Killian Haize today, but he really laid an egg today. Yep, at home. I mean, that's his home country. Zach learned a lot from DeRozan on how to draw fouls. We'll see about that. We'll see about that. YNG Sports and Hip Hop Channel says, "What's up, big dog? What's going on, fam?" Pacers are going to fall off by the deadline. I mean, hey, we'll see. I'm happy to report that Marco was found alive and well. Guess we can call off the search team. Hey, listen, ain't nobody was searching for him, but I get what you're saying. I can't even lie. I get big hype when DT get in the game. Give that man a role, however minimal, he's going to make it happen. It's probably not going to be him not have a role on the show. On the team until next season. Io putting Killian in prison. DJJ had a dunk contest. We even saw the Windy City Bulls feature. Yes. Big up, Haize. Love the content from the Netherlands. Shout out to you for checking in from the Netherlands, brother. I appreciate this love and support. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. But yeah, appreciate that. Billy hates Drummond. No, Drummond has not been playing very well. Look, let's be clear here. Drummond hasn't been playing well. So, very random, but is it just me? But does Billy sound like a sleepy drunk guy? Oh, I don't get that vibe from him per se. Brandon L. Jet in the building. What's up, Haize? What's going on, brother? Glad to have you in the building today. Certification Poppy says, any scoring droughts? I couldn't watch this game since I had to work. They had scoring droughts, but maybe it was like a couple of possessions that they couldn't score on in a row. But for the long 3, 4, 5 minute scoring possessions, I don't think they had a single one this game. Say My Name says, let's go. Might be a great game for the team to have some time out bonding, as what they say in France. Ice cream for sale. I don't know how to say that, but yeah, ice cream for sale. All right, wait, listen, get that French ice cream. We need Zach to play like this for the rest of the season. I mean, he's been playing like that. Last 10 games, Zach is balling. Like, I think it's easy with the way Zach LaVine started the season out but over the last 10 games, let's go over the last 10 games. 29 points per game on 50% shooting from the field, 41% from 3-point, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and right under steal per game. Zach LaVine in the last 10 games. Zach is balling. Zach's balling. Amazing win, very consistent throughout the whole game. The only 2 negative things is we got to stop the easy back cuts from the opposition and got to keep getting P-Will going in the second half. That's from Matthew. Great points, great observation on that one, Matthew. Completely agree with you. I would say this, that, the backdoor cuts are something that's a scheme thing. And that's not to blame it on Billy or whatever. That's just to say that is a scheme thing. But also, players have to have better defensive awareness than what they do, even if it is a scheme thing. Now, as far as getting P-Will going in the second half, you guys already know my thoughts on it. It really does seem like Billy's like, hey, how many shots P-Will got? He got 6? All right, let him get – no, you know what? Forget it. Don't worry about it. Stop it. Like, that's what it feels like. But, it is what it is. YNG Sports says, I still love this duo out their best. They can compete with any team when Vooch is rolling, getting boards, playing defense, and clutch threes. This is the team we have the potential to be. Agree with you. Definitely agree with you. Davin says, if we treat the next 10 games like we treated the Pistons today, we could go on an 8-2, bro. Well, the thing is you don't need to treat it like any. Just come in and execute your game plan. Come in and play with heart, right? That's what you need to do. Is Dalen Terry the point guard version? Dalen Terry is not a point guard, so no. Dalen Terry is not a point guard. He's going to play very little point guard in the NBA. Joakim didn't receive any huge minutes as a rookie, if I'm not mistaken. He had some. So Joakim, towards the back end of that season, once they realized that the season was in the tank, Joakim started playing. He had quite a few games of playing 15, 20 minutes, but it was very inconsistent for Joe. I think it's like, if you want to look at rookie season, the combination of Joakim Noah and Jimmy Butler. Like, he's just not going to play a lot his rookie season. That doesn't mean he's not going to have a chance to earn a big role in the offseason. Shy City says, I still feel like LaVine don't deserve a max contract. Has no playoff experience, has no leadership skills. He's not a selfish. So, okay, let me break this down. First of all, any player who can be top 10 in the league and scoring easily usually gets a max contract. As far as he's a selfish player, that's incorrect. Go and check his assist to turnover ratio. Zach LaVine actually passes the ball very well. And when the Bulls started playing better, it was mainly because of him not only scoring better, but also putting his players in a better position. Zach LaVine is not a selfish player. He has no leadership skills that I can't deny, and he lacks accountability. Zach holds himself accountable probably better than most players in the NBA. That doesn't always mean that it translates. So I'm sorry. The things that you're saying there are one of the things that like fans start building that narrative on. Some of them are fact, but Zach LaVine, just by the nature of him being one of the most prolific most efficient scorers in the NBA, the last 5 seasons, besides the last half of last season and then the first half of this season, that alone is going to get you a max contract, period. DJJ had a solid game, dunks on ducks, played the 5, picked up some fouls, but good defense overall. And the alley from Zach in the third, damn, love to see. I completely agree with you, brother. Completely agree. Let me ask you this. In a season where we need more role player help, investing in 5 to 9 minutes for DT to start could be worth looking into, right? I mean, anything could be, but the fact of the matter is this. That's just not the development plan they have for Dalen Terry. They don't. And even Io, keep in mind, Billy Donovan even said, I thought Io was going to be somebody that came in and out of the G League last season, but he earned his role. Completely different situation, completely different position, but I don't think they're trying to rush Dalen Terry out there. Would I like to see Dalen Terry get some minutes? Absolutely, but it just doesn't seem like it's going to be what they have planned for him. The game did feel like an all-star game, but Paris need to do a better job with technology. They had the score on the game wrong. The score was wrong in most places, even on Google and ESPN, like the score, whoever was in charge of keeping score was just wrong. But I don't think that's a Paris thing because if I'm not mistaken, the NBA still sent their production guys over. So that's still weird that they had that type of weird game with technology. I kind of feel bad France had to watch the Pistons today. Hey, listen, they were amped. Do you think the team makes a move for another backup big before the deadline? I'm not sure. I really don't know what AK has planned or up his sleeve. Shay, Haize, can we give a shout out to Alex Caruso for all them steals that he was getting? He showed his value tonight. He showed his value tonight. Yeah, he definitely. I mean, Alex Caruso's value is always going to be understood better by people that actually watch basketball, not box scores. You're very rarely going to feel the impact Alex Caruso has on the game by just watching the box score. I honestly think with the way that Billy coaches Drummond will only play when we play against big teams, DJJ took his spot in the rotation and has stayed very consistent. And that goes back to last season. DJJ, his best ball he played last season when he was playing the 5. It just is it's just something about this team in that position for DJJ. It was even more deadly when it was him and Lonzo that had that pick and roll going. But yeah, we needed this win in Paris. See red from Chris Carvinio. I agree with you, brother. Tony says, man, so many shots for the Bulls go in and out, especially for Zach. Yeah, I mean, that is what it is. I'm getting sick of people saying Zach isn't a max player. Go look at the list of max players. Zach is better than a lot of them. Completely agree with you. That's just, and that's the thing. When a player is on your team and you see them every single game, I always say this, you either undervalue or overvalue players on your own team. It just happens. Very rarely do players on your own team are like evenly valued by the fan base. And, especially when you watch somebody every day and you see their issues and their shortcomings, it's easy to kind of zone in on that. Caruso says, still can't believe how much deeper this team is compared to last year's squad. Yeah, very deep team we have. Very deep team. I'd like to see Terry play more, but I think we just have to blow out teams more. If we're up by 20 in the 4th, I think coach will give Terry some time. Oh, yeah, he'll get garbage time. I want to see Pat call his own number more, even if the play set is there for his teammates. That's just not I mean, that's why I always say they need to call plays for P. Will, because I just don't see that in being in his personality, unfortunately, at least not yet. Hating on Zach SMH, he's healthy and balling, and he gave up a lot of shots just today. Exactly. And part of the reason why we lost against Boston and when we went on that 3-game, he was trying, his teammates couldn't hit shots. Caruso was a pest today. That sequence he had at the end of the game was typical of Caruso on defense. Completely agree with you, Brandon. Completely agree with you, brother. We even saw Marco tonight. Yes, we got a Marco Simonovic signing. I didn't think that would happen this season. It's crazy. So Billy apparently knows who he is. Bradley couldn't even hit a wide open, easy shot. But, that's weird. Glad Vooch was okay when he caught that elbow. That Jewish nose sure can take a beating. Wow. Why did you have to point out? That's weird. He started playing like a max player finally the last 10 to 15 games, and y'all still complaining. I swear y'all motherfuckers kill me. I would think we gave his ass a super max. Y'all really show y'all knowledge. Oh, man. Could you imagine if Zach qualified for the super max and got it and started off the season the way he did? Man. Caruso is getting healthier, good sighting. Yeah, Caruso, listen, he got to stay healthy, though. I really hope we don't trade Alex Caruso at the trade deadline. I mean, the last thing that we heard is that they don't plan on moving Caruso. So Jamal says, Haize, I agree with you about Zach. The tough part is that we're not going to be a luxury tax team yet. So we need players making $10 to $20 million to play above their value at full health on top of that. Yeah, I mean, but the end of the day is that's not on Zach that his ownership doesn't want to pay the luxury tax. Like, really, that's not on Zach LaVine. That's not even on AK, right? That's not even on Arturas Karnisovas. If what hurts this team and what keeps, if Arturas has a plan and that plan includes going into the luxury tax, and Jerry Reinsdorf says, yeah, that's a nice plan, AK, but no, then you can't blame AK. I'm not saying that that's what happened, but then you can't blame AK. Now, AK does need to go back to the drawing board, but you can't blame Zach. You can't blame coaches. You can't blame even the front office. If the ownership doesn't allow them to go into the luxury tax, the ownership has the right to do that. Not that I agree with it, but that's the confines that they have to work within. DJJ was bogus for letting Caruso run directly into that pick. He made Caruso look like a crash test dummy. That's funny. Someone in the Windy City Breeze chat said Billy finally remembered who Marco is, but now he's going to leave him in Paris. Oh, like Home Alone? That'd be hilarious. Hey, man, Haize, I just poured a 99 proof in my icy. I don't know why. I'm just juiced after this win against Detroit, but hey, it's whatever. Finna get tipsy. Like the way we played, laughing my ass off. Completely agree. I love the way we played today. The Bulls is happy in Paris. Paris. Yes. Zach gives up multiple shots to his teammates and, in fact, goes too many minutes at times not shooting, so I want him to be more selfish within the offense, of course. I agree with you. And that's why you can always tell, like, people who stick to narratives, right? That narrative of people that is like, oh, but Zach LaVine's selfish. Like, have you watched a game in the last, 3 seasons? Zach LaVine is hardly a selfish player. I would even say it goes back further than that. Yeah, when the team was bad, did he go into isolation a little bit more? Yeah, but he was the only effing offense that we had other than when Kobe got hot. So Zach is not a selfish player. He's not a selfish player. DJJ was hooping today. Great to see, but Drummond is definitely out of the rotation. Oh yeah, Drummond is out of the rotation. Some of y'all really have a my GM mindset. It's funny as hell. The way y'all think it's so easy to make a perfect player, perfect team, perfect coaching, and ownership. Yeah, I mean, listen. That's the trade machine and my GM and 2K really got people thinking it's easy out here, bro, and it's just not. It's not. By the way, my beard is looking real luxurious. One thing I love about winter, when my red shows a lot. Jerry Reinsdorf is a horrible owner. The Bulls would be so much better if Jerry actually cared about the team. I think Jerry cares about the team. Don't get me wrong. I think he cares, but he cares about it financially, right? The financials come before everything. It's just like you guys may know. So not anymore. I'm in tech now, but I was in finance for a big part of my life, big chunk of my life. And some people, the bottom dollar takes over everything, right? No matter enjoyment, whatever. And I don't even think Jerry's just like that with the Bulls. I fully believe in Jerry Reinsdorf's regular life. He's a billionaire. He probably still uses 1-ply toilet paper because he saves money on it. He'd rather wipe his ass with sandpaper than spend money on Downy or whatever the expensive toilet paper is. I guarantee you. He just cares about the bottom line more than anything. Curse Frog, fresh cut, maybe. Hey guys, wasn't able to watch the game because of work, PT, so I have to rewatch on the NBA app. But how were we? We were good. Damn good. Sorry, had a parent real quick. Had to check somebody. Just stroked this, but yeah, for sure. You know, you gotta. That's how you stimulate growth. You gotta rub the beard, man. Zach and Debo played awesome. DJ even smoked some of your weed and had a great minutes. Hey, listen, that's funny. Alana's weed must be 99.99% THC because she be out like a light. Gotta believe Drummond is getting moved at the trade deadline. No, he's not getting moved. What is one former Bulls player in the past 6 years do you think could help this team in the second half of the season? Is Bobby still in the last 6 years? I said this all the time. I literally think Bobby Portis would be the best backup big possible for this team. Plays defense, can score, can play the 4, can play the 5, could play next to P. Will, could play next to Vooch. Hell, like I really think Bobby Portis would right now be the best possible backup big for this team. His skill set, the mindset, the needing, you need a dog, right? So I think Bobby Portis would be literally, matter of fact, Bobby Portis would have a 6th man of the year type run if he played for the Chicago Bulls right now. Yelling at the kids and shit. Listen, man, you gotta tell them to shut up. I'm about to pack me a bowl. All this talk about the za. Y'all crazy, man. I need my naps, but apparently you did the opposite for DJJ. Oh, man. Haize got that Jamaican beard, castor oil, macadamia. Whoa. Now, first of all, I do use Jamaican black castor oil is one of the products in my beard line, but you know, it is what it is, man. Bobby, that goon we need too. We need a goon ASAP. Listen, I'm telling you, Bobby Portis would be perfect. Perfect. Did I hear correctly? Billy was mad at P. Will during one play, then he went to the bench after that? I don't. Facts, I miss Bobby. I remember him saying how he got that dog in him from the Noah days. That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. Shit, Jerry was always been about the business before the sport. But that's what I'm saying. I think Jerry is about business before life. Like literally. I think Jimmy. I'm not Jimmy. I think Jerry would literally, if it would guarantee a profit margin high enough that he would sell all his children and just be like, hey man, fuck them kids. I didn't see P. Will get cussed out. Maybe I missed it to you. I didn't see anything like that. I saw he got injured, but I didn't think he'd be out for the whole season. What the heck? Wait, who are they saying is going to be out for the whole season? What did I miss? Halliburton. Oh, Halliburton will be out for the season? Damn, that sucks. I love Halliburton. Haize, do you think we can make the playoffs? We can make the play-in for sure. They're gonna have to play their ass off to be able to get into the playoffs. Like if they want to avoid the play-in tournament, or even if they get in the play-in tournament and want to make it from that into the actual playoffs, they're gonna have to play their ass off the rest of the season. Finally, a game that I can watch being from Europe and seeing the Bulls play nicely. That's what's up, Rick. Glad to have you in here. Let's not give Haize any more heart attacks. We still got PTSD from Lonzo and D Rose. Listen, Lonzo, I really don't have PTSD about Lonzo Ball's injury, but D Rose, man, I remember the second that he didn't get up. And literally, I was sitting at home on my couch in my Derrick Rose jersey with my son, who I think was 4 or 5 at the time. My oldest son, who's 17, be 17 in April. Literally sitting there with him, and all the color rushed out my face. I will never forget it. And literally, my son looked over at me. He said, "Dad." I said, "Yeah." He said, "He's okay, right?" I said, "I don't think so, son." And my son literally took off his Derrick Rose jersey, put it, because I let him stay up late, and took off his Derrick Rose jersey. It's like, I'm going to bed. Like, I will never forget that moment at all, ever. You know, it might be too late, but we might make a little bit of a comeback. I mean, listen, the Bulls have enough runway. They just have to. The margin for error is not very large for the Chicago Bulls. They have to lock in, and they have 37 games left on the season. They literally, I would say this, if the Bulls want to avoid the play-in, like I said, they have to win 22 to 25 of the last 37 games. And honestly, probably have to win more, like 28 of them, if they want to avoid the play-in tournament. Well, that's a hell of a run on the back half of the season. I mean, they got the talent to do so. It's just, are they going to execute to that? We'll see. I guarantee we make the playoffs. Don't sell us short, big dog. Our team can compete with the best, and we have found our chemistry. Well, that's the thing. By make the playoffs, I don't count making the play-in as the playoffs. The Bulls are definitely going to be in the play-in. That I have for sure. They're going to be in the play-in. But the fact of how good the East is overall, the fact that there's just, keep in mind, for the Bulls to be over 500 by the end of the season, it would mean that they have to win 3 more games than they lose. They have 37 games left. That means out of 37 games, they have to win 24 of those. They have to go 24-13 to end the season. That's just to be 500. That's to be above 500. So that's a tall order for a team to go. That's a nice run. By the way, I changed my name from just my first name. That's funny. I remember the whole fucking day, man. That's crazy. We won only 7 games after the All-Star break last year and barely missed the play-in. Granted, we were in the top 4, so that's a lot to happen for us to be able to avoid the play-in at this point in time. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I definitely think that they're going to make the play-in. Like that, I have no doubts on. But to avoid the play-in, that's a tall order. Not to say that they can't do it, but that's a very tall order. Brendan L. Jet says, I was in Iraq after coming back from a mission and a couple of Bulls fans were crying. Yeah, I didn't cry. I was just mad. I was pissed. I'll always hurt from the D Rose injury. People forget his trajectory. Rookie year, then All-Star, second year, then MVP third year. Man, and he never got to have a prime. Derrick Rose never got to have a prime of his career. And keep in mind, the year he tore his ACL, he was actually a better and more efficient player. And we never got to see what that would have looked like, man. That's crazy. Austin says, I wish I would have been a basketball fan during that era. No, because you avoid the trauma, bro. You get to avoid the trauma. Brandon says, hey, Haize, do you think we can get at least 25 wins over 37 games? Man, that's tough. I mean, they'd have to lock in, man. Haize, do you think Lonzo and AK may factor our record into whether or not he returns this season? Like if we got hot in the next few weeks, maybe he pushes harder for a comeback. Well, I mean, they're going to play it safe with him. So he's going to have to be healthy regardless. But I think either way that they're going to be motivated if he's healthy to allow him to play to get some of that rust off of him. And especially if the Bulls are set for a play-in run, even though he probably may not start or be 100% himself by then, you still want to get him some playoff experience. You want to get some of that rust off of him so he can focus on other things in the offseason. Alana says, unless teams like the Pacers and Hawks start losing hella games, well, with Halliburton being, and okay, so one of the things that I've been talking about, right, is how the parity in the NBA has kept teams from doing, the trade deadline was maybe boring because of that. Now, a Tyrese Halliburton injury, The Pacers may now be incentivized to get their pick as best as possible. Don't be surprised if the first chip to fall before the trade deadline now is either Buddy Hield or Miles Turner. The Pacers may now be motivated to move one of those players, if not both of them, even if it's in separate deals, to just, hey, let's take a shot. There's a lot of good young talent in this league. Right now, we're a playing team. Let's go ahead and drop out of that, which would mean the Raptors or the Washington Wizards could have a chance to take their spot, but it also opens up the door for the Bulls to go on a considerable run. I think have we played the Pacers twice? We've only played the Pacers once this season. We played them either 2 or 3 times this season. So no, I said playoffs, not play-in. Well, there you go. So I mean, listen, even if they make the play-in, I mean, they still have a chance to get into the playoffs. They can beat those teams, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I remember the play so good. Kevin Harlan was announcing the game. Oh, no, Derrick Rose came down awkwardly, grabbing onto his knee. You see him holding on to his knee, and down. Man, listen, that's trauma. That is trauma. One so far? Okay. I thought so. I thought it was once. Two minutes left and up 12. Well, the thing is, with the way that Derrick Rose played and then the way that the ACL injury, the meniscus thing happened later on, he was bound to hurt his leg that knee at some point, even if it wasn't that. Love seeing Dalen Terry playing like his career was on the line in the last 40 seconds. Give that man a chance, Billy. Hey, whenever Dalen Terry does have a role on this team, a consistent role, that man is going to ball out. I've never heard the word parity be used so much until recently. That's the word of the year, especially for NBA fans. I think we get to at least 40 wins. Let's face it, the East is not an easy conference. It's not. But hey, everything's tight right now. First year living in Atlanta, I was at a bar watching the game right before it happened. I said, why is he still in the game? Man, listen. Brendan, there's a lot more parity in the league. Yeah, I mean, this is probably one of the best seasons as far as parity in the league. You literally can turn on any random game and get a hell of a game any night in the NBA this season. Brandon Peck in the building says, "What's up? What's going on?" Yeah, it was bound for D Rose to get hurt, but still, yeah, it's tough, man. Bulls have a legit chance to make a strong push if they keep it up. Yeah, I mean, they have to play and execute. They definitely. Tank for top 4. Justin, there's no way the Bulls could get in the top 4. It's almost statistically impossible at this point. Mixo says, is it realistic to see Dre, Javonte, or either Tony or Marco get moved at the trade deadline? Let's say Javonte, I do think it's a possibility more than what we realize because, again, he's an unrestricted free agent this offseason. He's 29. This is his first time, and he's been balling. He's about to get a contract. Dre, I doubt. Tony Bradley, nobody wants. Like, the Bulls can cut him. There's nobody who's going to trade for Tony Bradley. Listen, right now, Kroger wouldn't trade for Tony Bradley to push their carts. Because he'd probably get picked up by some random person and thrown somewhere. It's not happening. How long are you going to be live for? I have to braid my hair. LOL, like only one braid. I'm probably going to be live for like another 5 minutes or so. We're going to end the stream a little bit earlier today just because of everything being back to back. I still got to do Locked On Bulls too. So yeah, probably going to end the stream here shortly. Foster says, would love to see Thaddeus Young back with the Bulls. Really miss seeing him play at the 4 in the red. Yeah, I mean, there's a chance. Like his contract's only partially guaranteed next season, so they could cut him technically in free agency. I just don't know if they do. So Haize, I really see us going 45 and 37 if we keep playing the way we've been playing at least these last 2 games. Well, that's the thing with the Bulls, man. I can understand that, and I'm not saying you're wrong for feeling that way, but we say that now, and then the Bulls could play the next 2 or 3 games, and we'd be like, hey, we'd be lucky if we win 5 more games this season. It's been so up and down. I wouldn't take Bradley for free. That's crazy. Still want Vanderbilt from Utah. I'm willing to move Marco Tony first. Utah won't get a first from anywhere else. No, I wouldn't say that. I definitely think they can get a first for Vanderbilt. I think most teams they can give up. Tankathon says different. Well, you have to understand what Tankathon is. Their job is to add odds. Yeah, the Bulls have, I think at this point it's like a 32% chance. That's basically not a chance. So when you look at how bad the other teams are, and the talent that the Bulls have on, it's not, the Bulls aren't going to take. Tanking's stupid. Tanking at this point would be dumb. Bye, Haize. Love you, brothers. But I'm not leaving yet. Not leaving yet. I'd be surprised if we can get anything for Bradley alone. Probably just half an eaten apple. Listen, man. You'd be lucky if you can get COVID back for Tony Bradley. Keep doing your thing, Haize. You're a great content creator, man. I appreciate that, Foster. Glad to see you appreciating the content. Jumping ahead, but I really want to see Seth Curry on this team next year. Bro, like it's highly unlikely that we get a point guard. Keep in mind, so next season, Lonzo, who hopefully is going to play, Ayo, Caruso, right? Kobe if he stays around. Goran, I think he only signed a 1-year deal. I wouldn't be surprised if he signs another 1-year deal with us, but I don't know, and I don't know if they'll be able to pay what he gets, man. Can you see us maybe trading Javonte for Naz Reid? We need more size, and the Timberwolves need more wings. What do you think? Listen, the Timberwolves got way more concern. I don't think so because I don't see Javonte staying with Minnesota. I just don't. Patrick, will Vooch be moved at the deadline? No, I highly doubt it. It doesn't seem like that. Not with the way he's been playing lately. Oh, Brian said I got to go. Well, peace out, brother. Have a good rest of your evening, bro. Haize, would you do Paul George for DeMar? Absolutely. I love DeMar, and that's not me trying to shit on DeMar. But if you tell me a healthy Paul George on this team, playing next to Zach LaVine, and then when Lonzo Ball comes back, man, listen. Yes. Do the Bulls still have money from the MLE so they could pull a John Wall and get that buyout for $7 million and sign him for $3 million? Toronto, doubt that happens, bro. Channel 4, Ayo is a restricted free agent. No, Ayo's not going anywhere. Yes, he's a restricted free agent, but the Bulls aren't going to let them go. Again, this front office, AK and Eversley, do not want to see any more young players potentially go elsewhere and develop. They're not letting Ayo go. Yes, he's a restricted free agent. They're going to pay Ayo DeSumo. They're not going to let him go. Patrick Williams is going to get a second contract. They're not going to let those players go. They're just not. Bulls will sign D-Rose. So wait a second. That's Rick. He says the Bulls need. I'm sorry. I saw ours. Bulls will sign. No, they're not going to sign D-Rose. It's not happening. Paul George is not overrated. He's right where I think. Yeah, I think Paul George is evenly rated in my opinion. Funniest thing I saw was LeBron for DeMar, Caruso, and Pat. Yeah, that's crazy. Lakers fans, bro, and Bulls fans sometimes too. But all right, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream, man. I appreciate you guys so much, man. You guys mean the world to me today during an early live stream, man. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys are following the show. If you're not following us on social media, you can follow us at Bull Central Pod on every social media platform that we are on. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text and or voicemail, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related because of you guys. And like I like to end every episode on, go Bulls. Love you guys, man. See red, y'all. Peace.